Hello everybody. As always, let me go and try to load this up on my laptop so I can answer any questions you guys might be having. There I am. Here we go. Okay. I put the phone camera a little bit farther away so hopefully you can see everything that I am doing here. We are going to be making some gluten-free sugar cookies. Hi Elizabeth. Let me add the link to the recipe in the comments here if you want to follow along. It is www.cookingoncaffeine.com/gluten-free, which is gluten-free-sugar-cookies. So it's gluten-free sugar cookies with a bunch of dashes in there. Hopefully that'll load. Yep, there we go. Okay, there's the link on there. And I am going to try to go rapidito here because I gotta go pick up my eldest daughter from school in about 20-ish minutes. So I'm not gonna get to do a whole lot of explaining while I do this, but I figured you could watch me do it, and then together with the recipe, if you wanna make it on your own, you can. And of course, if you ever have any questions or anything like that, feel free to contact me either here on Impossible the Bakery or on Cooking on Caffeine the blog, or even on the actual website cookingoncaffeine.com. I check those pretty frequently. Of course, Impossible the Bakery, I'm on there every day, but the Cooking on Caffeine ones I try to check at least once a week. So yeah, let's get started here. We are going to first cream together our butter and our shortening. The reason that I use both butter and shortening is that vegan butter is actually margarine, and it has a higher water content than dairy butter has. And vegetable shortening has like no water content whatsoever. So mixing these two together, 25% shortening and 75% margarine, gives us more or less the same water to fat ratio as dairy butter. And what that does is it helps the cookie dough not to spread in the oven, because this is a no-chill recipe. I don't have time in my life to be making cookie dough, putting it in the fridge or the freezer, rolling it out, putting it back in the fridge or the freezer, and then popping it in the oven. So here we go. We're gonna do 1/4 of a cup of the veggie shortening. So I got 1/4 of a cup. I've considered melting down the veggie shortening and then pouring it into like butter stick molds so it's easier to measure. I consider that a lot, and I haven't done it, which is sometimes the story of my life. Oh, and by the way, all of the fats, you want them to be either room temperature or a little bit cold, and it will help a lot. Get it all out of there. And rubber spatulas are your best friend in all types of baking, so if you don't have any, you totally need to get some. I have a friend that sells some good ones on her site, everythingcakeandcookies.com. She has some really cute ones there. And I'm gonna put this in the sink because it is dirty and I don't want to get shortening all over my hands right now. I am not working with fondant. Okay, and then we're going to put in 3/4 of a cup of our vegan butter margarine. I'm using Earth Balance. Boop. So this is 1/2 a cup, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1/2 a cup. So we've got 2/4 of a cup that are in there, and then this is 2/4 of a cup, and I need 1 more 1/4 of a cup, so I'm cutting this guy in half and popping that right in there. Okay. And we are going to use the paddle attachment. Like I said, I'm going quick because I gotta go pick up the daughter from school in just a few minutes. So if I'm going too fast for you, I apologize. I was wanting to go live, and then was getting everything prepared, and I totally lost track of time because because, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I'm working on being a perfectionist. I don't want to be a perfectionist anymore. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give this a quick spin to incorporate the margarine and the shortening just a bit. Okay, and it's not fully creamed, not fully incorporated, if you can see that in there. Once I add the sugar in there to give it a little bit of friction, it'll be nice and creamy. My measuring cup is in the sugar. We're gonna add 1 cup of sugar. And this is the Sulka brand granulated sugar. It is bone char free. So there's 1 cup of sugar. Let that go in there so nothing gets in my sugar. Evie, turn it down. Sorry, my 3-year-old is home with me. Evie, turn it down.
Wow, that's so nice. And the pumpkin rye too.
Mama's on the phone, baby. All right, hopefully she listens to me. Okay, so we got 1 cup of sugar in there. Let me see here. Oh, and I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees, by the way. Okay, so now we're gonna do this on low just until everything is incorporated. And while we're doing this, I'm gonna pop my frozen aquafaba into the microwave because I need 6 tablespoons of it. So I got that going for 1 minute. And then I am also going to sift together my flour and xanthan gum. I told y'all last night that I hate sifting things. So if I can avoid it at all, I do. I need a trash can in here. It's all the way over in the kitchen. So I need 4 cups of my Bob's Red Mill all-purpose baking flour. This is the garbanzo bean-based flour that they make. And it is a bajillion times better than any of the cup for cup or rice-based flours that I have tried. So it's 1. And this doesn't need to be exact, just about 4 cups. Because depending on the weather, we will have to add more or less. And I'll show you. That's fully incorporated now. You don't want to over-mix it because you'll start to suck the water out of the sugar into your butter mixture. And we don't want that to happen because then your cookies will spread. That's 2. 3 and 4. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the measuring cup in here because we're going to need more to roll out our cookies. This is xanthan gum. This is not the package it came in. This is just a, you know, recycled little plastic dish that I use for it. And we need about 1/4 cup. So what I do, or 1/4 cup, oh my gosh, please don't put 1/4 cup of xanthan gum in your cookie dough. 1/4 teaspoon. So I just measure it on the edge, the point of the butter knife here, and add it in there. Put this in the sink. Put my xanthan gum back on the shelf. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how I sift my flour. You just whisk it together. Ta-da! And that's it for our dry ingredients. And if you notice, there is no baking soda, no baking powder in this recipe. That's it. It's just the gluten-free flour mix and a little bit of xanthan gum. So I said I was going to show this to you. You can see it there on the paddle. It is fully incorporated in there. And now we're gonna add our wet ingredients. And it's not quite melted yet. Pop it in for. I need 6 tablespoons of that. I was pretty sure I got my tablespoon out. Did I not? I didn't. It's right here. And I'll just use that other measuring cup that I have there. Come on, Aquafaba, I'm in a hurry. Hi, Tracy. And hi, Jackie. Just waiting on my Aquafaba to melt now. And I could open another can of garbanzo beans and use it straight from the can, but I don't want any more garbanzo beans right now. I have so many that I need to use up. I'm gonna be eating hummus for like a month, you guys. There we go. All right, that should be good. Okay, so, here is my liquid gold, the Aquafaba, that I keep in the freezer, and then I just melt off whatever I need. We are going to turn the mixer on low, and we are going to add 6 tablespoons of Aquafaba, 1 tablespoon at a time. And this is our egg replacer. 3 tablespoons of the Aquafaba straight from the can of garbanzo beans equals 1 egg. So turn it on low. This is 2 eggs worth of Aquafaba. So there's 1 tablespoon, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, I'm gonna leave that right up here, just in case we need a little bit more. We shouldn't, because it's a rainy day today, so it's a bit humid. On really dry days, sometimes I need to add a little bit more. But then again, the heater's on here in the apartment, so I'm not really sure. Okay, so we mix just until incorporated. It looks like a gross, like if you ever played with Floam, that's kind of what it looks like right now. That's what we want. And then I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons of my vanilla. And I'm gonna do that first before I turn it on, because I don't wanna overmix this. So, like I said, I just poke a hole in the seal that's in there, and then I squirt in whatever amount I need. So, there's about 1 teaspoon, and about 2 teaspoons. Okay, so there's my bourbon vanilla, Madagascar bourbon vanilla. Sure, put that back where it goes instead of on that shelf I was trying to put it on, or I will lose it, which is terrible. Okay. On low, just until it's incorporated, and there we go. Now I am going to not knock my cookie cutters onto the floor. I'm going to add the dry ingredients, about a half a cup at a time, just until it's incorporated. So this is a 1 cup measuring cup, fill it about halfway, bam. On low. And next half cup. Just until it's incorporated. And what I'm looking for here is kind of like a Play-Doh consistency. If you hit the Play-Doh consistency before you use all of your flour, then stop. You do not have to use all of this. Like I said, if it is a dry day, that will aid you in not having to use as much flour. Okay, and 1 more half cup. So this is a total of 2 cups, which is half of our flour mixture. And then I'll show you guys what the consistency looks like right now. Just until it's incorporated. As you can see, looking at this, it looks like cookie dough. No gluten, no wheat flour in there. But we definitely need a bit more more of the flour mixture because it's still sticky. So let me get that yuckiness off. Add another half cup of the flour. Check the time really quick. Okay, I might have to just mix this up and then wrap it in saran wrap to go pick up my daughter and roll it out and cut it after I get back, which might be a bit challenging with a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old in the house, but we do what we gotta do, right? Oh, don't go all the way down in there. There. Okay. On low again, just as incorporated. And I also don't add any salt to this because the vegan margarine is salted already, and I also use the salted garbanzo beans. So I find I don't need to add any salt to the actual recipe itself since it's already incorporated. And we are definitely getting there. And you'll see it'll start to jump the top of my mixer because I don't have it locked, which you're always supposed to have it locked, but you see it just bumped up once. When it starts to jump, it's letting me know that I am getting close to the consistency that I need. You see that there? Still just a little bit sticky. I'm going to add a bit more of the garbanzo flour. You see there, we've got about a half a cup left in there. So I'm actually going to go about a quarter of a cup. Because if I add the half a cup, it might take me over what I need. So again, on low. And I'm going to lock it now. And something I always advise people to, if you are using this, the Bob's Red Mill all-purpose baking flour, the gluten-free, and it's made with garbanzo beans instead of the rice. So for me, I mean, it's better for my family because I don't like to overload on rice here because we already eat a lot of rice as it is. It smells really bad when it's raw. And it tastes even worse than it smells. So this is not a cookie dough that you're gonna want to eat raw. You can if you want to, but I don't think you want to. But don't judge the cookies based on how it smells and tastes right now, because after they bake, you can't even tell the difference. Okay. Here we go. So I can stick my finger into the dough and it leaves an impression, and if I push on this side, it all falls off. That is what I am looking for in the consistency of the dough. And as you can see, we've still got about a quarter of a cup of flour left here in the bowl. Move all of these things up so I have a bit of room. I'm gonna plop it down here on my board, which is nice and clean. Get as much of this off of the paddle as I can. Put the paddle in the sink. Okay, and I'm gonna get this all out. If you're gonna roll this right away, you totally can. That's why I created this recipe, because I wanted one that I could roll out right away. You'll want to do half, roll out half of it, and keep the other half either in the bowl covered, or make a disc and wrap it up really well. And you can store it in the freezer for up to a month. See as is, as the raw cookie dough. And then, you know, just take it out of the freezer, let it thaw without unwrapping it, let it come to room temperature, and then you can roll it out and bake it just like as if you had just made it. Okay. All right, and see how that is not sticking to my board? Hopefully you can see that. I might need to shift the camera over and get all those little pieces that are escaping. And when we roll this out, the cookies that we cut out are also not going to stick to the board, which is awesome. I'm just going to use my spatula here to get every last bit of dough. I need to calibrate my mixer because it's not reaching, the paddle isn't reaching the bottom of my bowl, so I got to scrape it out with my spatula. I'm going to get all of it out of there. Alright, grab a little bit of this so I can grab it and stick it over. Okay. Yay! Nice clean bowl. I'll just pop it. Okay. So here is our cookie dough, you guys. It is ready to go. I hope you can see that Play-Doh consistency. There's my hand. And if we went to bake this, this is exactly how it would come out of the oven. This does not spread in the oven. It keeps all kinds of shapes. Intricate cookie cutters. If you want to use a food stamp on it, all of that works great. And it's delicious. So, there we go. Big ball of cookie dough. And see, it doesn't stick to my hands either, which is great. So I am going to put this back into my bowl. And I'm gonna cover it with my cling wrap so I can go pick up my daughter. Hi, Michelle. So I can go pick up my, I don't need that much. Put that back. There we go. And I'm gonna get that down in there to make sure I cover it really well. There we go. And since I'm only covering half, basically, of the cookie dough and the bowl is covering the rest, I'm using less plastic. Yay me. Like I said, this stuff smells really gross before you bake it, so there we go. Cookie dough is ready to roll out and cut and pop in the oven as soon as I get back from picking up my daughter from school. So thank you for joining me. I hope this helped. Again, if you have any questions, click on the link that I added there in the comments or shoot me a message. I'm happy to help. Have a great afternoon, guys.